Welcome to Rollfair, a D&D podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, we will introduce ourselves. I am Devin, the Dungeon Master.
And I'm Ryan. I'm playing Rosu, the... probably not a tiefling. I don't know what I'll be yet. Something.
Hiding out in Kushako. Brad playing Arden the Wizard.
I'm Kayla, playing Kaiji, the Tabaxi Pirate.
I'm Austin, playing Shervu the Turtle.
I'm Ben, playing Raina, the Human Ranger.
I'm Sarah, I'm playing Asar, the Fire Genasi Sorcerer.
Perfect. So last time, while traveling on the Riddling Sphinx and traveling down the Mai Shanda to Kushako, the party had an engagement with the crew of the Riddling Sphinx and learned that Menakehi is not actually a Tabaxi woman, but is in fact a Kubi Maji of the essentially a lion Tabaxi, and by the name of Andayul, and she told Rainer that his sister Trini is actually alive, which sent Rainer into a spiraling depression of some sorts, it seems. And other members had different encounters with the crew, including Judar and Asar, and Kaiji got Rainer drunk. So, we're picking up with the party continuing down the river. I imagine it's probably the next day at this point, and Asar and Rainer, I imagine, are no longer below deck unless he chooses to be so.
Rainer is basically below deck the rest of the trip.
Okay. And you guys are coming in towards Kushako, a couple hours away.
So what should we be prepared for? I've never been to Kushako. So should we be in disguise? Should we...
I think I should be in disguise.
You said there's basically no use in the rest of us being in disguise. We all have the same chance of getting knocked.
Yeah, I mean, this city is just so busy that you're going to see everything there, I think. So I think everyone will blend in.
Blend in, that's not something I'm used to.
Maybe a little more than usual, but yeah, you might stand out still, being a Tabaxi.
Yeah, not only at the Tabaxi. I'd be impressed if the city blends me in.
I could be at a Tabaxi as well.
You could.
Yeah.
You could. I think I'll be fine.
Okay. I just don't want you to feel all super spied on or standing out so much.
I'm going to start practicing my disguise, basically, with my mask of many faces.
What are you making yourself look like?
So just trying to be a pretty boring-looking Tuchawi Mel. So just regular human, same height as I am, but I'm kind of being a little lazy with it, so you see hints of Alton in there, like the same black hair. The face is pretty similar, but instead of, I don't have the silver eyes anymore, just kind of a light gray, normal-looking human eye.
Okay.
Instead. And then just... my clothes are pretty nondescript, I guess you could say, and I'm still wearing my leather armor too, so I'm not bothering to try to hide that.
Okay, sounds good.
As we're pulling up towards the city, Cher notices that his robe-like clothing has been torn to shreds by the stupid crocodile. So he sits down and just starts casting mending on his clothes. Stupid crocodile cutting my clothes. Good thing I know this spell.
You're able to patch it up fairly well. Some of it is beyond the repair of the mending cantrip, but you're able to patch up what you can. It's wearable. Looks like it's well worn at this point.
It was well worn beforehand too, so...
And ultimately, we need to head to Malika's retreat west of Kushaka, right? So
yeah.
I'd be good to just spend as little time in Kushako as we can.
Get crude, don't get knifed. I love the idea.
I mean, the
But we had
the sneaky people want us to do things.
Yeah, we have a contact.
We had some opportunities here.
Yeah, if I recall, if you were to head directly west to Malika's retreat, it'd be about 2 weeks by foot.
I don't want to accept the sneak people, but I do want to get to Malika's retreat as soon as we can. I'm not sure what Reina's gonna do. If he wants to go act on the information he got. He's been kind of hiding out the whole time. So I don't know what he's doing.
You guys were only about a day out, maybe 2 days out from the time that the attack happened. So he's been hiding out for maybe a couple days at most.
I don't know. He didn't seem like you wanted to make a decision quickly.
That's fine.
Honestly, I think it'd be best if we do our Izorm mission as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, as quietly as possible, and then we can choose from there.
I won't say a word.
Who wants to put money on this? I put nothing.
I believe in you, Arden. I'll put down 1 copper.
That's almost more insulting.
So much. Hey, I have a question for you, Sharu.
What's that?
You know, that's the angriest I think I've seen you when they were trying to, talk against your friend, Dad Asamar. Are you two a thing?
No, not a thing. I'm not.
I mean, I won't be jealous.
It's all right.
Inside check.
I mean, I'm not particularly interested in any romantic relationships because, I'm still a young turtle. I have plenty of years left to figure out who I want to mate with. So come with time. I'm not too worried about it. But Malika, she saved me from certain death in the desert. And I followed her for a while, learning both how important it is being a cleric, especially of Juanabi, but also how annoying it is to be a healer. Like, she had her, it's called Malika's retreat, because that's where she went to get away from everybody, because they wouldn't stop hounding her. And that's why I'm kind of avoiding healing myself, because I don't want, as much as I love people, that's too much attention. But
I can see that being a sought-after thing.
yes, but everywhere she went, she made the world a better place. She healed sickness. She helped cure crops and provide food and water to those who needed it, no matter where in these small desert towns. And she was there after I survived a terrible, terrible sandstorm where I lost a lot of friends. But yeah, she's good people, and those who talk out against her will face me being angry.
That was a new side of you, and I just... It's nice to know that
People who
I
mess
could
with
be that one day.
people who
Someone you would be willing to protect.
Well, that's how I feel with all my friends. Is my friends are worth protecting no matter what.
Okay. So as you guys continue your conversation, Judar kind of comes up and says, "Well, my friends, we're coming to the end of the line, and I hope to see you again, but it's been a pleasure and an honor riding the Maeshande with you, and I hope you know that I will always think that the Riddling Sphinx is a home if you desire it." And you see Andayul, who is back in her Yabankichi, look and her disguise, and she says, "Indeed, if you desire, the Riddling Sphinx can be your home as much as you choose. Of course, if we're not in the area, you may have to find other alternatives, but if we are, you can seek us out and we will take you wherever we are going. And as they finish this conversation with you, the ship is guided into a dock in Kushako. And what you see as you come into the area, you see just a sprawling city that probably covers, I don't know, maybe 10 miles or so worth of distance. And ships going back and forth, small riverboats, fishing vessels to large trading vessels, going up and down the river. And then you see towering spires essentially along the river where many temple-like structures or palaces are built. And around each of these you see walls and compounds, and you see other compounds in different parts of the city. You see a large outcropping of rock. It's almost like a hill of boulders stacked on top of each other, and people going about here and there, and bridges spanning across, stone bridges spanning across the water, several of them. And you guys pull into one of these docks, and Judar goes up and starts speaking with one of these people. And once the exchange is done, you see him kind of walking towards the captain, and you see him, he's angry, very, very angry. And as you guys are kind of overhearing the conversation, he says, "These Ujiri bastards, they've increased the tariffs. It's now 20% to offload our goods, and it's almost not worth it." And you see the captain, she just goes, "Damn, what I wouldn't give for a Zujiri license without having to pay those bastards for it." And they just kind of keep having that conversation, and at this point you're free to get off as you see fit.
What is a Zujiri license? Just say to the group.
Mr. Rosu, aren't you part of that clan?
The Zujiri?
Yeah, but didn't you go into one of the parlors and...
That's how we made our way to Nolia. They're the ones who are kind of building a monopoly around trade and merchant caravans.
Those bastards.
Yes. So that's when I went in and had that conversation about where there might be some slave trading going on.
Zujiri are the ones that were kind of taking over the market in
the Pumongo Oasis.
In Pumongo Oasis, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they've got their hands everywhere, it seems.
Yeah, you can go ahead and, if someone wants to, you can make a history check.
24.
24. So what you know about Zujiri distribution, they are, ever since the war with the T'Chawi Empire, which lasted several centuries, they primarily started as like a private means of supplying the Yabankichi army as they went further south, and by doing that they built up their wealth significantly, and now they're headquartered in Kushako, where they are run by, let me pull up that note. They're run by the Netsk family. That's Netsk. And they've carved out a very substantial share of the voting power within Kushako. Hence, the reason they're able to kind of establish monopolies in the land.
we'll want to steer clear of them, but we're probably going to have to deal with them in some form or another, even if it's just indirectly.
I mean, and this is just a side thought, if we can do something nice for our friends who brought us down the river, if we could procure a license for them, I think they'd appreciate that. But it's not, I don't know how to go about doing that.
All I know is I don't want any of my gold ending up in their hands. That's off the table.
Normally I'd ask the unseen hand, but we're not on the best of terms at the moment.
Go figure.
So, as everyone's kind of embarking, Reyna finally shows up on deck. Before he leaves, he goes to the captain. Andayo, I do...
Minna, if you please.
Minna. I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for my outburst earlier. I don't entirely trust you. But I do thank you for the information that you have given me. However, if I find out that this information is false, hopefully Monbury finds you before I do, because I won't be nearly as merciful.
It's understandable. Go see my father when you can. We will take you to him if we are available.
I will gonna have to hit him for you. Just I don't want to hit you. I'm not not gonna hit women today.
I can take a punch.
I only slap people that I pretend are my slaves. But no.
Believe me,
I take a step back.
I can take a punch. I'd probably beat you.
And
Maybe
I'd
we
put
can
money
spar
on it.
someday.
We may see about that someday. I'm pretty sure I'll owe you at some point. But
Maybe we'll find each other in the ring at the bar sometime. We can have a bar fight.
There's a ring in the bar.
that does sound fun.
Plenty of bars have rings.
Listen though, stay alive, because if you are telling the truth, just pain me to lose Nazit's daughter. So.
Well, thank you. But please don't go saying anything about.
Don't worry, I'm
My
better at
family.
keeping secrets than others.
That's good. That's good. By the way, and she comes to you two, Arden and Sharu. You do not know who I actually am. To you, I am only Mena, the captain of the Riddling Sphinx. And if you say anything, my Rainer's promise about me comes to you from me.
Of course,
and
Mena.
Monbury help you if I find you.
Arden just nods his head, yeah. Because
Good.
he's not saying a word.
Happy sailing.
Happy hunting. So and they just go about unloading their cargo. And what do you guys do at this point? You've docked on the east bank, by the way, which you would know this, Alton, is the side that the artisan district is on. The merchants district is on the southwest side, which is where Zujiri distribution is based on.
Well, we need to be in the artisan district anyways.
We were headed to the Mahjong Den, I believe.
The person's Masan Den.
Masan Den. Oh,
That's
yes.
the chiseled block in.
Yes, the Orun Izorm let you know it was Masan Den at the chiseled block.
Yeah.
Whose name is Dan?
Well, this person's name, of course.
Fine. It's a stupid name.
Names are always weird. I've given up trying to understand them.
It's true. There's lots of different names.
No, you're not wrong.
My father literally called himself pirate in our own language. It was fascinating.
At least that one made sense.
Hello, what is your name? I am pirate. Oh, yes.
So you guys.
Well, I know the area. I could lead us there, and I know some shortcuts too. So
This is your city. I've only ever passed through here.
cool. We want to head straight there.
The sooner the better.
Okay. So you guys head to the chiseled block, and as you go through the city, you see carts and
Any-
beetles. Sorry.
Is there any street food?
There's. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
No, there's not.
I got a 6.
Is there any street beer?
You
Street grog.
you see some people selling some food. It's just simple things like some cooked beans or roasted. What are those things called?
Pigeons?
The green pistachios.
Pistachios.
Roasted pistachios, things like that.
Roasted pistachio. Oh, I
No
bought-
scorpion on a stick.
Darn. I buy a bag of roasted pistachios.
Okay, costs you like 2 copper, 3 copper.
These are really good.
And so as you guys are going through this region, you see plenty of beetles, some pushing balls of dung around as they're cleaning up. You'll see people just toss their refuse into the street, and the beetle will come and take it out.
Oh.
Yeah, you
no.
definitely want to keep your eyes up while you're walking through these streets.
Um,
Just to be on the lookout.
I mean, that's one way to handle waste. That's really interesting.
And then you see merchants and whatnot. Some beetles pulling large blocks of stone around, and you hear the chisels of stone workers working their craft. Various people working lumber and other things. As you look around, you can tell that most of the things in this area aren't necessarily raw materials being harvested or anything like that. It is things being refined into a fine-tuned art or purpose to be used in further structure. But you eventually make it to the chiseled block, and you can see that it serves definitely as a tavern in this artisan cluster. Plenty of artisans come and spend some time here. It's probably about 10, 11 o'clock at this point. And you hear the sound of chisels against stone in all around you. So it's very, very noisy area. And it's nestled kind of in a small courtyard, surrounded by the depots where a lot of the merchandise is stored. And the tavern courtyard has a small stone fence, rises maybe around 3 feet high, and has about a half a dozen outdoor tables that rest beneath the shade of Tachawi palms. And as you take a look inside, it has another dozen tables with a dirt floor and mud brick walls that are plastered with some sort of alabaster compound. As you look in, you see that it's not terribly populated at this point, and most people are working at their craft. But you do see a Yabankichi man sitting at the bar, maybe about 5'2", is bald, and he looks like a simple man, and he's missing a couple teeth, and doesn't seem overly sophisticated as far as his clothing and mannerisms. But as he looks up and sees you guys walk in, he says, "What'll it be, eh?"
Lunchtime?
Strongest thing you've got?
"Well, what you thinking?"
Strongest thing you've got?
"Very well. Let me see what I've got out back." And you see him move to the back, and he comes out with just a fairly strong beer. It's not like any hard liquors, but stronger than normal. There you go. This will be 2 copper.
Fair.
What do you say with the bottle? I have a bottle to replace.
Bottle will run you about a silver.
Alright, can do.
I'll take that. The silver. I got it.
Oh.
I've got you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Let me know if you need some more.
What was the other phrase we were supposed to say?
I've heard of a really special mixed drink called the Lazy Pawn. Do you know what that is?
Oh yes, that's a great drink. I'll see if I can mix one up for you.
Oh, perfect.
In fact, if you'd like, I could. You're welcome to come to the back, and maybe I can show you how to mix it yourself if you ever strike the fancy.
I always love learning new things.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah. And he leads you into the back, where there's a small office. He shuts and bolts the door.
Oh.
And he leads all of you, just to clarify. He looks over at you and he says, "So, came from the north, did you?"
Indeed.
Unfortunately.
Well,
We're told you have business for us.
we always have business here. Secret business, of course. I mean, we don't want to make too much of a fuss where we're not well known.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem for any of us.
Of course not.
Sure hope not. But, tell me, who sent you?
Sheshri's mother in his own.
Sheshria? I see. She's a good egg, good Gorlamak. Well, my name is, Masanden. I'm a Gorlamak in this region. Don't have too many, tomes at my beck and call, but, a couple. And mostly, I work with, those they send. But, while you're here, you can stay as long as you need. No charge. But I ask that you do pay for your food, just so we can keep things going. And then, if you need anything, let me know. But specifically, what did they send you here to do?
We hear there are some trinkets that we need to obtain.
There's always trinkets. Can you explain more?
I think that's about all we were told. Do you guys
Okay.
remember anything else?
But if that's all you were told, that's okay.
Trinkets of value.
Yeah, well, naturally. And they didn't give you much to go off of, did they?
I think they left it to you.
Ooh.
I do have a question.
The Unseen Hand?
Not his people.
That's rivals.
His people.
Rivals of the
Steal
Orin as well.
trinkets from the Unseen Hand.
Not his people as in he's with them. His people as in
To go after him.
his rivals.
Acquaintances
I
of mine.
see.
Also, how would one get their hands on a Zumaji trading license?
Zujiri.
Zujiri,
yeah.
Trading license.
Oh,
yes.
I mean, you could always buy one.
How much do they cost?
Oh, depends on what you're trying to do, but my experience usually, for a year's license, could run you around 500 to 750 gold.
It's more than I got.
Is there someone you would know that could help us acquire one for less? Or possibly no charge?
Potentially, you could try and get a counterfeit one or steal one.
I do love me the old 5-finger discount.
I'm good at those.
Well, I'll see what I can find out. But as far as your mission, there's there's plenty of things you could do to get the materials. The big thing is just bring them here and I'll pay you. And you could try the Genturum Sanctum. I mean, the Net's Palace always has things of value. At least we assume it does. I mean, they're filthy rich. You could always try the trade routes. You know, it's a gamble if you'll get anything of value there. But and specifically, what we're primarily looking for is magical items, not just gems and whatnot, but
So
actually
you don't have
magical
anything
items.
specific in mind, or a specific target for us? Just something, just more general, what we can find and sell.
Everyone's a target in Kushako. Whoever you want.
Basically, the less they have, the more you have. If I'm getting this right,
Pretty much.
makes sense to me.
And another place you could try, these tend to be higher profile places. I mean, if you aren't up for the task, I'd suggest the trade routes, but you could also try the College of Kaiboam. That might give you a place to start, and just keep your ear to the ground, listen for
Kaiboam, is that what you said?
Kaiboam. That's Kiboam.
Well, it's nothing like I wrote it down, but phonetically it works.
Try to keep you on your toes.
It's hard for me to stand my toes.
That's sad.
Do you see this shell? It's heavy. My toes are just there for balance, not really for standing.
Anyway, the mission never really ends. I mean, just come and go as you please. If you are finding yourself in need of coin, just bring me some stuff and we'll get it for you.
Well, we are certainly grateful for the room. Thank you for the assignment.
You're welcome. And I should put a caveat there. The room is free in as much as you are producing. If you are not producing, then you will have to pay.
Do you have any interest in Makisi swampfish scales, spines, teeth, and or mucus?
I don't, but I know a gnome just to the north of here who does.
Yes, I think we've met him.
Urin.
Yeah, that's the one. He's got the little alchemist shop north of here.
Maybe we should give him a visit.
Or not.
Maybe. He is a particular fellow for sure.
It certainly is. He's got some quirks, to say the least. Comes in here every now and again. Maybe you'll see him.
So by north, you mean like not actually very far north from Kushako? He's
Just a few blocks.
Okay, that is actually a lot closer than I was expecting. I thought this was like, oh yeah, he's a day or two north or something. But
Oh no.
So you mean he doesn't just live in the middle of the grasslands? Because I was under the impression that he did.
No. He has a shop here. He sells alchemist supplies and does
he has a
weird
shop here.
research.
either I've been just, drinking a bit too much the last few days,
Well, that too.
or
can
my mind
happen.
has been scrambled, but I do actually recall him saying he had a
Yes.
shop here in Kushako now.
You said that he might be able to give us some water breathing potions, because
Oh yes, yeah, because he said he was going to try and experiment with some of the stuff that he took back and see if he could figure out anything. So it might be beneficial to see what we can get out of him. Wring him dry,
Well,
In a good
possibly
way.
in more ways than one.
Hey.
Maybe we can
Take what you
acquire
can. If you
some
can
items
get
from
some
him.
of his stuff and bring it here, I'm happy.
Well, where are my manners? We are the Red Sands. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I have another question for you.
Sure.
Are you familiar with any of the bounties in the area?
Yes, actually. There's a few. There's the bounty on Elmar, the horse thief. Everyone's out for murder. You throw a stone and there's someone out for murder. But one of the bigger ones right now is a tiefling by the name of Seth.
I heard he died.
Oh, that's not what we hear. There's actually been several bounty hunters that have gone east towards the Pomongo Oasis. That's where he was last seen.
And Seth was out for murder.
It's not so much murder. It's more he was he pissed off the wrong people.
Oh, that.
So you're saying
That's
we could get,
unfortunate.
like, rich if we were to turn in this...
Yeah, what is the bounty on him?
About 2,500 gold.
What?
That's it.
Holy crap.
That's
I'm kind of disappointed, actually.
Well,
I'm staring right
yeah.
at
You know, me too.
I totally imagined he'd be worth quite a bit more than that, but
Seen as most bounties for people is around between 20 to 100 gold. This is pretty significant.
I was gonna say. that sounds pretty
I understand that. I'm just kind of ragging on him, just in a
Maybe
know,
we
obscure reference here.
Wait a
We should go
minute.
find this.
Wait
this
a
tiefling.
minute.
Yeah.
Never mind. I won't say it right now, but maybe later I'll tell you.
So, how long are you planning on being in Kushako?
As little as we can.
Well, that's too
We-
bad. We could use your help.
Other than
Oh, we're just trying to make the Orun Izorn bigger, better, more affluent.
well, we're happy to bring you a trinket or two.
Yeah, I just don't know if we're the best of thieves. It's not necessarily our typical occupation.
I've never stolen anything in my life.
Well,
He's
I
the
don't know how you made
front.
it into the Orun Izorn, but
I have no idea either. Bluebin Island or something.
oh, it's exciting. Well, whatever you bring, I'll report it to Sheshri, and if you need anything from us, I can do what I can to procure it for a cost.
Sorry. Just to cycle back to what you said earlier about the bounties. Are those dead or alive? Would we give them to you, or is there a different place to put them?
Well, most of them are put out by either the watch or most of those ones are alive. Only dead if under extreme circumstances, but some are less savory groups that put them out. The Unseen Hand and the Shadowed Hand have bounties, of course, and usually those bounties are not known, and I'll tell you, Seth is not one of those ones that's known except by those who know. The Unseen Hand put a pretty penny out for him.
Dead or alive?
Preferably alive, but if dead, it pays 1,000.
They must have been pretty mad at him.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't know any tieflings. Could help us find them or something.
Anyway,
Well-
you have a room here. Hopefully you can turn up some goods, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to help.
Retire to the room, yes. Come up with a plan for the day.
Sounds like a good plan. Plan to plan.
Sounds good to me. My turn to go.
Sounds good to me.
Guys, you
And-
saying plants?
As you guys,
I pop
Head
him
up.
another silver and just say, I'll take another bottle to go.
sounds good. And he hands you another bottle. And as you guys head up to the room, we are going to end the session there. Thanks so much for listening.
If you like listening to Rollfair, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Also, check out our merch store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com. Store at rollfair.com.